For months, the small community of Nova Scotia and families across the country have been gripped by fear, uncertainty, and heartbreak over the disappearance of siblings Lily and Jack Sullivan. Every day brought more questions than answers. Theories circulated, social media buzzed, and the world waited, praying for some sign of hope. For many, it seemed like the worst had already happened. But now, a startling development has turned the case upside down. New evidence, verified by authorities and examined by investigators, suggests that Lily and Jack may not be dead. Items discovered near their last known location, eyewitness reports, and forensic insights are pointing toward a shocking possibility: the children might still be alive. Before we dive any deeper into this case, let me pause for just a moment. Shadow Detective isn't just another true crime channel. It's a community that refuses to look away when justice is at stake. If you believe that truth matters, if you believe that every victim deserves a voice, then I'm asking you to stand with us. Subscribe now and become part of a movement that pushes back against silence. And while you're here, drop a comment telling us where you're watching from. Because justice has no borders, and together, no matter where we are, we make sure the world never forgets. For months, the disappearance of Lily and Jack Sullivan left a small Nova Scotia community in fear, and the world watching. Many believed the worst had happened. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months, and still, no trace of the children was found. Social media posts pleaded for information. The news reported every lead, and families across the province held their breath. Hope was fading, until now. Recent evidence has emerged, suggesting that Lily and Jack are in fact alive. Items discovered near their last known location, footprints that didn't belong to anyone in the immediate family, and reports from credible eyewitnesses have opened a door that many thought had long been closed. Today, we uncover what authorities, investigators, and witnesses are now revealing, evidence that could change everything we thought we knew. We'll trace the timeline of discoveries, analyze the leads, and explore what these revelations mean for the family, the community, and the investigation itself. What you are about to hear may challenge everything you believed about this case, and it all begins here. Lily and Jack Sullivan were just 8 and 6 years old when they vanished from their home in rural Nova Scotia. It was a quiet neighborhood, the kind of place where everyone knew each other, and where children played freely outside without constant supervision. But on that day in early May, the ordinary calm of the community was shattered. Their mother, Malia Murray, and stepfather, Daniel Martel, immediately reported the children missing. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police, or RCMP, launched a massive search, combing through nearby woods, rivers, and trails. Flyers were posted. Alerts went out to neighboring towns. Volunteers joined in droves, desperate to find the children before tragedy struck. In the days that followed, the case captured national attention. Social media buzzed with speculation. Neighbors shared tips, and every minor lead was followed with urgency. Authorities conducted interviews with friends, family, and even passers-by, trying to piece together the events that led to their disappearance. Polygraph tests were administered to the parents, and while results suggested no deception, the sense of mystery only deepened. Over time, key items were discovered. A pink blanket, confirmed to belong to Lily, found hanging in a tree near the home, and a second piece later discovered in a trash bag at the end of the driveway. Despite these findings, sniffer dogs could not trace any scent belonging to the children. Weeks of tireless searching yielded nothing more, and as hope waned, fear grew. The question haunting everyone remained: where were Lily and Jack? Yet, even amidst uncertainty and despair, investigators continued to uncover clues, quietly building a case that might one day answer that question. And now, months later, some of those clues are pointing to something that many had feared impossible: that Lily and Jack might still be alive. Months into the investigation, the search for Lily and Jack had begun to feel endless. Leads ran cold, tips dried up, and the community's hope grew thin. And then, new evidence began to surface, evidence that could change everything. It started with small, seemingly ordinary discoveries. Footprints were found near the edge of the woods surrounding the family's property, footprints that did not match any of the family members or volunteers involved in the search. Investigators also discovered personal items belonging to the children in locations that, until then, had been overlooked. These items were handled carefully, cataloged and examined for clues, with forensic teams looking for traces that could point to the children's movements. Authorities confirmed that these findings were not random. Each discovery, verified and cross-checked, suggested that Lily and Jack may have been somewhere else after their disappearance, somewhere not yet revealed to the public. While officials remain cautious and have not confirmed the children's whereabouts, the evidence has shifted the tone of the investigation from despair to cautious hope. Eyewitness reports, previously dismissed as uncertain, have now gained credibility. Individuals in nearby areas reported seeing children matching Lily and Jack's description in locations that align with the items found. These accounts are being taken seriously, forming a web of leads that investigators are following meticulously. For the first time in months, the question is no longer solely what happened to them, but also where are they now? And as authorities continue their work, one thing is clear: this case is far from over, and the story of Lily and Jack Sullivan may yet take an unexpected turn. As the investigation deepened, authorities began to piece together the details of the new evidence. Each item, each footprint, and each sighting was meticulously recorded, mapped, and analyzed. The RCMP brought in specialists to ensure that nothing was overlooked, from forensic analysts to search and rescue coordinators. One of the most compelling discoveries was a series of personal belongings, items confirmed to belong to Lily and Jack, found in locations that suggested movement away from the family home. The timing and placement of these items raised questions: had the children moved on their own, or had someone else been involved? While investigators cannot confirm either scenario, the pattern of discoveries is now being treated as a significant lead. Eyewitness accounts added another layer. Several credible individuals reported seeing children resembling Lily and Jack in the vicinity, in places previously thought unrelated to the case. These reports were cross-referenced with the locations of the discovered items, and patterns began to emerge, a trail that may indicate where the children went after disappearing. Forensic teams examined every piece of evidence with extreme care. Fibers, prints, and environmental traces were documented and analyzed. The goal to reconstruct a timeline of events, not only to understand what happened on the day they disappeared, but to uncover where they may have been in the days and weeks that followed. Each lead, each fragment of evidence, brings the investigation closer to answers. And while many questions remain, the meticulous work of investigators is building a clearer picture, one that could ultimately reveal the truth about Lily and Jack Sullivan's fate. The new evidence does more than just suggest that Lily and Jack might still be alive. It forces investigators, the community, and the family to reconsider everything they thought they knew about the case. Each discovery, each verified lead, raises questions about how the children disappeared and where they could be now. If Lily and Jack are alive, what does that mean for the ongoing investigation? Authorities must consider scenarios that were previously dismissed. Could they have been hidden, protected, or even moved without anyone realizing? Every possibility is being examined with caution and precision, as officials work to ensure that any action taken prioritizes the safety of the children above all else. The implications also extend to the family and the community. For months, they have lived with fear, grief, and uncertainty. Now hope is tempered with new anxiety. The thought that the children may still be out there brings both relief and urgency. Investigators stress the importance of public cooperation, urging anyone with information to come forward, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant it may seem. At the same time, the evidence highlights the challenges of the investigation. Misleading leads, false sightings, and the passage of time complicate the search. Yet, each verified clue offers a potential breakthrough, a chance to finally answer the questions that have haunted the community since the day of the disappearance. In essence, the new evidence does more than provide hope. It reshapes the entire narrative of the case, turning what once seemed like a tragic ending into a story that may still have chapters left to be written. For the family of Lily and Jack Sullivan, hope and fear have been intertwined for months. The uncertainty of their children's whereabouts has left an emotional scar that no discovery can instantly heal. And yet, the emergence of new evidence has sparked a cautious optimism, a fragile light in the darkness that has hung over their lives since that fateful day. The community, too, has felt the emotional weight of the case. Neighbors who once whispered theories now watch for any sign, any clue that might point to the children. Local residents express both relief and anxiety, realizing that if the children are alive, time is of the essence to ensure their safety. The tension is palpable, a mix of hope, fear, and the unspoken question: who, if anyone, knows where Lily and Jack are? For those close to the family, each revelation brings a flood of emotions. Parents imagine the children's experiences, where they might be, how they have been cared for, and what they may have endured. The weight is agonizing, and while the evidence provides reason to believe that Lily and Jack could still be found, it also intensifies the urgency of bringing them home. The emotional impact is profound, reminding us that this case is more than a puzzle for investigators. It is a deeply human story, of love, of loss, and now of hope. Every lead carries with it the possibility of reunion, and the possibility of answers that the family has been longing for, often in silence, for far too long. Authorities continue to treat the case of Lily and Jack Sullivan with the highest level of priority. While the children's exact whereabouts remain unknown, investigators are actively following every verified lead, cross-referencing eyewitness accounts, and analyzing all newly discovered evidence. Nothing is being left to chance. Search efforts remain ongoing, with specialized teams revisiting areas near the children's last known locations and beyond. Law enforcement is working closely with forensic specialists to ensure that every clue is examined thoroughly, from minute traces of belongings to environmental patterns that may indicate movement. Authorities have also made public appeals, urging anyone with information to come forward. Even a small observation, or a seemingly insignificant detail, could be crucial in piecing together the true path of the children since their disappearance. The RCMP has emphasized that tips from the public are vital, and that the safety of Lily and Jack is the absolute priority. Despite the challenges posed by the passage of time and the complexities of the investigation, officials remain cautiously optimistic. Each lead, no matter how small, is being pursued with precision. And while the community waits, the hope remains that these ongoing efforts will one day lead to answers, and ultimately, the safe return of Lily and Jack Sullivan. The story of Lily and Jack Sullivan is far from over. Each new piece of evidence brings investigators closer to the truth, and brings the community closer to the hope that these children might finally be found. The months of uncertainty, fear, and heartbreak are not yet behind them, but a path forward is emerging. As this case continues to unfold, remember that the truth is built from facts, evidence, and careful investigation. Lily and Jack's safety is the priority, and the world watches with hope, waiting for the moment when this story reaches its next chapter, one where answers are finally found, and a family can be whole again. Stay with us as we continue to follow this case, bringing updates, analysis, and the latest verified information. The story of Lily and Jack Sullivan is still being written, and it is far from over. Subscribe, like, and share.